listening to Stimulating Conversations, where no topic is taboo and no taboo is off limits. I am your host, Christy Garynell. All right, well, welcome to another interesting episode of Stimulating Conversations with Christy Garynell, where no topic is taboo and no taboo is off limits. Okay. Today I have as my special guest a comedian, actor, extraordinaire, businessman, Rodney Perry.
Father,
husband. Oh my gosh, the list goes on. It's endless. Uncle,
I wear many
nephew.
nephew, yeah. I'm not an uncle.
You're not an uncle.
My siblings have no children.
Oh wow.
None of my siblings. Well, I got some family by marriage.
Yeah.
That's like my brother or my sister. They have children, but my siblings I grew up in the house with, none have children.
Oh, wow.
I'm the only one that has, and I have 6.
You have 6 kids.
5 girls and a boy.
Damn, that's a lot of kids.
I'd never pull out.
Clearly.
Obviously. For no reason.
You never pull out, you never protect. You're
nothing.
Like, whatever happens, happens.
Hey, they say y'all gonna have any more kids. I said, if she keep laying there.
Well, at least you can take care of them.
I do my best.
You're in the house with them, right?
I am indeed.
You're an at-home father.
That's true.
So that's good. I feel like if you make somebody give birth 6 times, you need to be fucking there.
You should, well, we have, my wife and I have 4 together.
Okay.
So I have been an estranged father as well, and out of the house. So I knew what that was, and I didn't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
It was a conscious decision.
That's good. Making better choices as you age.
As I age.
That's awesome.
So what are we talking about, Garynell?
So yesterday was it last night?
Tuesday
night. Yeah, at Cats, you did this joke that I died when I heard the joke.
Okay.
When you were talking about men having a limited number of fucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the premise.
Yeah.
The premise is that as men, we kind of operate as if we have unlimited fucks in our life.
Right.
But there are guys that become impotent for whatever reason. Maybe he's not sick. Maybe he's just out of fucks.
That's just funny.
And so that in itself was kind of the germ of the idea. And as you start exploring the other little nuances of, you called me with a tag today. And and my brother, who's a comedian, he's like the broader concept is being thankful for what you have. Because you may or may not have that thing forever.
Right. And
I was like, yo, that's kind of dope concept.
That's deep,
I always like some broader concepts in my comedy. And so, but, as you start to explore, okay, so, what if your dad at 13 said, look, son, it's going to be a long life. You got 2,500 fucks.
Would that affect your choices?
Absolutely. If you've been walking around fucking everybody willy-nilly, that changes when you know you have a number to it.
Wow.
And you might not even respect the number your first 200 fucks.
Right. but when you look up, about like 1,000.
No, you get to be you wouldn't waste that many. You would probably waste 500 fucks out the gate.
Yes.
From between 13 and 26.
Okay.
You'll blow 500 fucks out. Then you'll start going, wow, I got to live another maybe 60 years. I need to clear out.
I got 60 more years and only 2,000 more fucks.
I'm killing my fuck then.
And I wasted 500
Oh my
years.
God, I'm almost out of fucks.
That's hilarious.
So now I got to dial it back, and there's a lot of women that would not get no dick.
That's hilarious. And it was funny to me, like it hit, you know how like when you have had an experience, the joke like hits that core where you just like die. So I was actually with a guy like right after his last fuck.
Which is so brilliant, man. You caught me with that. I was like, what if you were there when he used his last fuck? Like,
he caught me the day after. like
a great guy, other than the fact he was out of fuck.
He was just out of fuck.
And
he was trying so hard, he didn't know what happened. He was confused.
This must be the day. I must have spit my last fuck on this other horrible bitch. I love you. I want to be with you the rest of my life, and I've used every single fuck.
As a woman,
I have no fucks to give.
I have no fucks to give,
wow.
and I want to receive fucks because I just hit the prime.
You want to be fucked.
Hit my you want
to, and you want to. You not only want to be fucked, but you want to fuck.
Right. So
wow.
that's
You got folks to give.
I have received.
And receive.
Not a lot to receive, but no.
Hilarious.
No, but so I was like, that's funny because after talking to other women and also, other men, I realized that it's an actual thing that happens at a certain age for a lot of men, like around 38, 40 something. It's almost like losing your
It
like
helps
your
if
vision
you're
blurring.
healthy. It helps if you're healthy.
Yeah.
The healthier you are, the longer your sexual life.
Right.
And as you get older, I mean, you looking at a guy that suffer from high blood pressure and hypertension. That wreaks havoc on your sex life.
Wow.
I mean, when I was diagnosed hypertensive, and they gave me the high blood pressure medication, that's the first thing it affected.
Oh, really?
I'm like, I'm not taking this shit.
Wow.
I wish I would.
Yeah, I still got fucks to give.
I got fucks to give. I'm not gonna have it. I'm not gonna lose 1,000 fucks with these pills. I wish I would. And so, wow, which is another concept. I love
Right,
it. Okay.
yeah.
So I did not take my medication because of that.
Oh, wow.
And fast forward 5 years later, I have a stroke. And so the crazy part is post stroke, I was like, you know what happened to me in that, I don't care if I ever get any more pussy. For real. I mean, I was like,
It's changed your perspective.
It changed my whole perspective. But I mean, as you become more healthy and take care of yourself and your erection returns and it's, I'm taking these pills now. Mm-hmm. So post stroke, a lot of men have trouble with erection. I mean, I'm being completely transparent with you.
Thank you.
And so my doctor prescribed me Viagra. Mm-hmm. Viagra didn't work.
Oh, wow.
Viagra was like, I'm sorry, we did.
Viagra was like, fuck you.
We did our best.
Wow.
Viagra like, look,
I
hey,
never
buddy.
even heard of a story of Viagra.
Viagra didn't work for
crazy.
me. But some men it just doesn't work for. And that's why Cialis came in the market and other pills. Right. So I'm listening to the radio. Uh-huh. I heard a project called Chingaling. Have you ever heard this? An ad. There's a product called Chingaling. Chingaling is oyster extract.
Oh.
And I've always heard about oysters being aphrodisiac for both men and women. Mm-hmm. But they put it in a pill. When I tell you this shit has my penis hard like I was 12.
Wow.
It is amazing. My wife was like, what did you do?
We need to get them to sponsor this episode.
You need a Chingaling episode. When I tell you this shit, I mean, I'm calling my friends like, dude.
Wow.
Because, the crazy part about erectile dysfunction is you're kind of alone. Nobody talks about it.
Right.
Every guy claims he got the hardest dick, but you don't.
Right. It's
not what it was. Even if your erection is still strong, it ain't what it was when you were a younger man.
Exactly.
And so now you look, you're at 38, 40, 42, and you're kind of alone and really not talking about it.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to kind of hear about it.
Right.
And that guy's dealing with it, and that guy's dealing with it, and nobody's saying shit.
Right.
But everybody, because if a guy comes into the smoke bar with these pills, everybody like, let me get one
now. That's hilarious.
Yeah, let me try this. So
wow. Yeah. So it's just that's kind of one of the reasons. Like I thought about that when I do the show, because this show I like to talk about topics that nobody's talking about, but that are affecting everybody.
Absolutely.
So the first episode we did was G-spot orgasms, because like 72% of women haven't had one. And
now, is a G-spot orgasm different than a regular orgasm?
It's different than a clitoral orgasm. So a clitoral orgasm is like when you're licking the clit or whatever, and she comes like that. That's
the G-spot orgasm is where the squirt will come from. The squirter.
That's when there's a spot inside,
right, up and back.
So it's like a vaginal orgasm. When you hit that spot and you hit it right, then there's a whole different kind of orgasm that like is a full body orgasm.
Oh, okay.
And it just kind
of it's a feeling. So what is it? What is it when
a feeling that flows through your entire body?
What is it? What is it when a woman squirts?
That
See, I thought that and G-spot was one and the same.
Actually, no. You can squirt from a clitoral orgasm.
Interesting.
Yeah,
but every woman doesn't squirt, or does every woman squirt, and she just doesn't know?
Every woman does not know how to squirt, and there's some conflict and confusion with regard
about
to
what
squirting.
it is.
Yeah.
Nobody. Like some people say it's urine. It's not urine. Medical people say it's not
Right,
urine.
it's not urine.
Yeah, but they don't kind of know what it is either.
Exactly.
Because it's not an ejaculate. Like it
It
doesn't have
it
doesn't have a
ejaculate.
purpose like
Yeah.
the male ejaculate. You know what I mean? Male ejaculate.
It does.
The elixir of life.
Well, I mean, no, it does in the sense that it gives you also that release of stress and like, that energy
and pleasure.
Right, it gives you that pleasure. But I mean, it's if you do ever squirt, it's a deeper physical release of stress than even.
So you
just
can
the
squirt
orgasm
through
itself.
clitoral stimulation
You
and
can.
through G-spot stimulation.
I don't know if you can squirt through G-spot stimulation. I know G-spot orgasms are like the most satisfying orgasms for women, but most women don't have them, which is one of the reasons.
You've experienced both.
Yeah, I've experienced both. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's one of the reasons a lot of women aren't really interested in sex.
Regular sex penetration or through some other form.
For what? As far as what?
The G-spot.
The only way you can really experience a G-spot orgasm is through penetration.
I'm sure it's penetration. I'm just saying. I mean, is it like I've digitally stimulated a woman G-spot.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I know. I think some people have also. I shouldn't say the only way because I know a lot of people who use toys and vibrators and stuff have had it. But no, I've had it through penetration.
Good for you.
Yeah, I know. No, good for him because he was able to find it and make that happen.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
Well done.
But like we were talking about, erectile dysfunction is another one of those topics that nobody wants to talk about. It's like you said, it's taboo. Everybody wants to pretend like they're satisfying every woman every time, and 72% of women who haven't had orgasms indicates that's just not the case.
72% is that a real number, or you made it up? You made it up.
No.
You made it up.
Statistically, there's 72% of women have not had G-spot orgasms. Some of them have still had clitoral.
But that would also require a woman to know what and where her G-spot is. I think part of the problem with the G-spot is, there are guys that don't know, have an idea where it is, and the women don't know either. Like a woman can help you get to that place if she knows where it is.
Right.
She can get
but
her body.
Women aren't going up inside of themselves looking for it either. Like,
but should they?
And that's I think that
Should
a woman should, but for religious or other political or social conformity reasons,
women's
feel
pleasure
very
is on the
uncomfortable.
lowest level of world
world
problems.
issues.
it's like
give
hunger,
no fucks about women's pleasure.
gas prices. And women's pleasure is way at the bottom.
Gas prices and then
I don't know, way down, way below that.
That's hilarious. But that's how women are treated in this country. So when we talk about, even when you talk about fighting for equality or, feminism and all of that stuff, and people are like, whatever.
I mean, when you talk about the feminists, I'm not anti-feminist. I'm a bit of a male chauvinist, first of all.
I like the clarification.
Let's preface what I'm about to say with that. But I think the people that we recognize historically as feminists, i.e. the white feminists, don't do enough for black women to me, for a black woman to ever be a feminist.
So I've heard that argument, and it's usually made by black men. And
I think I think you're right.
And I find it hilarious that black men make that argument, because the reality for black women is that black men also aren't doing anything for our movement. So it's like,
but what's our movement? You're saying our movement, but there is no black feminist movement.
For black women's rights, period. Like the black men will say, well, the white feminists aren't doing anything to help black women. And the white feminists are saying, well, black men aren't doing anything to help black women. So black women are hanging out there, holding the bag, trying to help everybody, support everybody, fight for everybody, struggle with everybody, raise everybody.
That's fair.
And nobody's helping the black woman, but everybody's pointing fingers at who's not helping the black woman.
That's more than fair. That's more than a fair argument. The irony of that argument is technically the black female is 2 steps above the black male. So that's you look at the destruction of the black family. You look at the fact that we talked about this. I don't know if we were off air or not, but we talked about the fact that I'm at home with my family and with my wife and my children. I'm an anomaly.
Right.
You know, and that shouldn't be the case, but that is absolutely a fact nowadays. So like, hear my kids talk about, you know, like my dad X, Y, Z, and then their peers is like, your dad lives in the house.
Right, yeah.
Where they do that at? You know?
Exactly.
And so you guys only have one Christmas. I mean, they got all these upsides to having dad live somewhere else.
That's funny.
You only got one family? Get out of here. So it's kind of crazy, you know. So I think we're all kind of products of that, the dismantling of the black family, which creates turmoil, internal turmoil between black men and black women.
Right. But the thing about it is we are all aware of it. You know what I mean? We are all aware that there is a systematic movement designed to destroy the black family. As black women and black men, we both know this.
Right.
Instead of us,
we're all damaged goods, though.
But instead of us coming together and raise each other up and work together and fight to stay in our family units, regardless of what else is coming at us, we're sitting here blaming each other for participating, for the part that we play in the systematic destruction of our own families.
Agreed. I mean,
and I think until we decide, you know what, it doesn't matter whose fault it is.
It doesn't matter.
We still have to come together and make this work, regardless, because that's what they use for everything. If I can pit you against you, then there's no unity.
Right.
And it's funny because in America, what's the slogan? United we stand, divided we fall. And that's what they've done. They've done everything they can to divide us as a people, us with other cultures. So, you know, like they're like, oh, we don't really like black people. We don't fuck with black people. But then when they want the Mexicans out, they want the black people to unite behind that cause. Right. And let's get the Mexicans out because they're stealing your jobs. What? Ain't no Mexicans stealing no jobs that nobody wants. So
I'm trying to put my Mexican out, and I'm so mad. That young man was cutting the hell out of my grass. And I had the black dudes, and they would never show up.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's the whole process is let's divide so that we can rule. If we divide and conquer, and the sad thing to me is that knowing this, we still allow the division to occur. We still fight and argue and fuss over who's to blame. You're at fault because y'all falling for it.
It's PTSD though, Garynell. It's we're all, like I said, we're all damaged goods. It's like what you're saying is a fact. Why don't we just do X, Y, and Z and come together? That would be great if we wasn't all so damaged.
I mean, that's true, but at a certain point, when you
recognize it's not their fault anymore. Yeah,
we got to start the healing process. Okay, we got to say, okay, we're damaged, so let's heal.
Well, it takes a fucking another 100 years to heal. You know what I'm saying? 100, 200 years of oppression takes 100 years to heal.
That's it.
Maybe. And you got to think, we're first generation. I was born in 1970. You were born thereabouts.
I was born in the 70s.
Maybe 7, 8 years, my junior, maybe, in a perfect world. So, given that, we are the first generation of free blacks. Like,
as far as you mean, like
free, period.
Jim Crow?
Post Jim Crow, post Vietnam.
Right.
You know, so those of us that was born in the 70s, we are the first. That includes like the Obamas, people like late 60s in that. And so if you look at that, we are kind of healing at a rapid rate. The fact that we have a black president, you know, less than 50 years removed from that is remarkable, right?
Yeah, but the fact that he was followed up by Trump, I mean, what does that say?
That says that the
there's
devil,
a lot of pushback.
They said that the devil, the white supremacists fear that they're losing position. You know, and as you lose from the position, you kind of flail to keep from drowning.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're in a pool. You know, but
well, that's just because everybody mixed now.
which is kind of low key creating another race.
But you know what the funny thing to me is when you look at that, like we're all, I mean, I like to say we're all mixed because at this point I feel like we are for the most part. So And that to me is even crazier because we're still fighting against each other, but we all cousins. Like, we looking at white people right now talking about, well, your ancestors owned slaves, but so did ours, because we are literally the product of the slave master and the slave.
Right.
So
well, that's not taking a far enough look in the history.
Our great grandfather was the same slave master as the white person we mad at today. He's
True
like
enough.
we got so.
That's true, but at the same time, it's also, it's less us and it's more them. Like, the words like minority and majority, we didn't create that.
Right.
They created that concept. And it's really a fictitious idea, because if you look at people of color globally, we probably outnumber caucus people.
By far.
Globally. But white people, white is a construct in itself.
Right, yeah.
So people that are white are not white. They are Irish, they're Jewish, they're Italian, which is black. They the black and the Jews is a whole other animal.
Right.
So they're Jewish, which is another thing.
And the French and the Spanish.
And the Celtic people, all those people. So the people that identify white or the Caucasian people they're all these different types of ethnicities. So what if everybody of color said, I'm black?
Right.
All the Asians.
Instead of us like trying to
John Leguizamo has
in red and brown.
Right.
Like, nah, nigga.
But they identify white though. You trip off of that. Like lighter skinned people from other races go, I'm white. They try to rock white. So it's really interesting. But I think these are all. I think we went from a sexual conversation to a conversation about really all of our woes, and as we navigate this life, man, it's what's the solution? What's the solution? Shit, I don't know.
I mean, I think we're part of the solution, though.
Get more fucks.
No, I was actually talking about being a comedian. But
we are. I think comedians are the last frontier of truth.
Yeah.
And it's a way to make things palatable. It's if your mom would give you like castor oil as a kid and she would make it taste different. We are that thing that makes it taste different.
Yeah, we're the last frontier of freedom of speech. And
True.
it's funny because to me it's funny not just that it is that way, but how recognized it is. Because I was one time at a movie theater and I said something. I was like, I've had a fucked up day, and this cop was like, you're not allowed to curse, in public because it's like, I guess it's illegal.
That's not true.
That's what he tried to tell me, and I was like, I'm a comedian. I'll say what the fuck I want to. And he goes, true enough. He just like he completely.
Well, he was on bullshit from the jump.
I know he was just probably looking at.
And so he just wanted you to react and back down. Most people back down when you
my brother actually got arrested for cussing in public. They called it a threat. Because somebody said something to him as he was walking by.
So the charge wouldn't have been cursing in public. The charge would have been something else.
They charged him with, I don't know if it was terroristic threats, but it was some kind of threat. Because he said, fuck you, to a guy who was harassing him.
Which is why we vote.
Right.
Which is why we vote.
Well, so yeah, we should. If you feel
know the stuff on the books.
Right. Because they be trying to slip in all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah. When you're voting for the governor or the president, look at the other shit.
I sometimes look up laws that are like crazy laws. And
they've been on the books for hundreds of years.
I came across is a law on necrophilia, which is
having sex with a dead
having sex with a dead person.
Yeah.
And there are actually some states where it's illegal.
It's legal.
It's legal.
Like, who decided? Who said we gotta pass this one? Cephas, get over here.
So in Louisiana, necrophilia is legal, but sodomy is not.
What you're not gonna do is fuck me in the ass, but when I'm dead, you can have your way.
Exactly.
Goodness gracious. Or can you fuck a dead person in the ass? Can you necrophilia? Sodomy is across the board.
Sodomy is across the board.
But sodomy is not just anal copulation.
It's also oral.
It's oral sex as well.
Yeah. So oral sex.
I know stuff. I know a little bit about everything. I know a little bit about everything. Well, sodomy and the word fuck is an acronym for unlawful carnal knowledge, which dates back to the Scarlet Letter days.
Wow.
And
you even read your history book.
I know stuff. I just know a little bit. I don't know a lot, but I know enough to be dangerous. Like I know enough to call bullshit.
Right.
I know enough to go, wait a minute. Wait. Okay.
You know enough to question the stuff you don't know.
I know enough to go look it up. And I got the internet at my disposal.
Oh my God, why did they do that?
They shouldn't have told me.
they shouldn't have told you. You can Google anything. That's how I found out about necrophilia. I don't know. Don't ask me why I was looking for it, but but yeah. So that, like you said, oral sex and anal sex illegal.
Legally considered
illegal in Louisiana.
Yeah, and not just Louisiana. I mean,
no, there's a lot of states.
There's a lot of states sodomy is, but
yeah.
It's probably one of the least enforced because it still happens behind closed doors. So as long as you ain't
because again, we're more interested in
train.
men's pleasure.
As long as you ain't sodomizing somebody on the train, you good.
That's because we're, again, as a society, we give more fucks about men's pleasure.
Is that what it's about?
Yeah, because I mean, who else is committing sodomy? A woman can't fuck another person in the ass.
Well, there's a couple of porn stars who beg the difference. What's that girl, Pinky? Pinky, stay fucking somebody.
Oh my God, with a strap on.
Oh my God, she be wailing away at these girls.
But so technically, that's another kind of device, right?
So she kind of didn't do it.
Right. Oh, wow. She didn't physically do it.
That's like saying guns don't kill people, people kill people. Strap-ons don't fuck people, people fuck people. I don't know.
But yeah, so yeah, that's, I mean, and I don't know very many women that would be interested in having sex with a corpse either. So to make that legal, I feel like there's just certain things that are very male-centric.
But you don't know any men that want to have sex with a corpse. You personally don't know one guy
who would admit to it.
You don't know anybody, period. I'm telling you, you know.
Okay, so
You just implied that you knew people that's willing to fuck a dead. I don't know. I almost know women, but you don't know any men either.
I don't know them personally. But
you just made a sweeping statement that was so unfair.
Was it?
Yes. You don't know any. You said I don't know.
I don't know any women.
I don't know any women that.
I don't know any women.
That's fair. That's fair. But I'm challenging your statement.
You
don't know any men either.
I don't know any men who have admittedly you don't
know any women that's admittedly have a desire. You can put the same statement on me.
Yeah, that's true. That is factual.
I can argue. I'm an arguer.
I see. You gonna call me on my bullshit, huh? Just like,
I know enough.
You don't know no man who said to you.
You know what? Garynell, you ain't believe this.
I've heard men be like, man, I'll fuck you to death, or I'll fuck
well, that ain't fucking a dead body. That's killing her. That's murder. That's another thing.
I'm gonna kill that pussy.
I'm gonna tear that pussy to shreds.
So men are very violent, you know.
Men are violent. But an already dead body is another thing.
Once it's cold.
Murdering the pussy and fucking it while it's dead is another
So
thing.
once it's dead, you're gonna stop.
And that's white men. We watch Ion TV all the time with the FBI show. What is that? I watch all the time.
I saw a video of someone with a pig the other day. I was like, oh my God.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Like, that doesn't just pop up in your feed. You had to search that.
No, somebody sent it to me in a message. Like, I was in my DM. I was like,
on Facebook or IG?
Facebook.
Like, what made them think you were in the market for that? Now, I do have a guy. I do have a guy, and he sends me stuff. And he's the only one. And just when I'm about to delete him, he sends something great.
Oh.
Just when I'm about to go, man, I can't take this bullshit. You know, because he had one video, speaking of, well, we're not speaking of, but I would love to hear your take on this. The whole thing with Dwight Howard. And have you heard his story?
Came out?
He didn't come out. He was outed by his transgender lover.
Oh.
And or the guy or whatever. So the transgender guy he had been kicking it with got mad because he's been going to swinger parties with other transgenders and wilding out, raw dogging other. And he's like, yo, how, you gonna bring this home to me?
Wow.
And so the conversation is, are we at a place where gay men can be just out? No, I say no.
You don't think so?
I mean, just the fact that people still are in the closet. Like,
I
in the
think
closet, the door has been off the closet for years, decades now.
I think there's a generational divide when it comes to being out and gay. Mm-hmm. So I think our generation still feels very uncomfortable with.
Who are we? Are we X?
I think we're Xers.
Okay.
Yeah. X or Y, but the millennials definitely have no problem coming out.
Right.
They are very flamboyant. They are very comfortable with all types of gender fluidity, transgender, cross-dressing.
Agree, because my kids...
just effeminate behavior.
Yeah, like my daughter's 15 and 17.
Bisexuality.
They're very clear that they're not gay. But they have gay classmates. They have, people that identify with different things, and it's just like not a big deal. It's like nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. They really see it like it's normal.
And they're after the millennials.
Yeah.
So whatever we'll call them, that hasn't even became a word yet.
Right. So there's definitely, that's what I'm saying. There's a generational divide on that where we're still very uncomfortable. I think. There's still a lot of homophobia with people of our age group.
Agreed.
But
I'm less homophobic now than I was as a younger man.
Yeah.
Like I used to be like, yo, you can't even say the F word now, faggot. You can't say faggot.
No, say it a few more times.
Like, faggot. You can't say faggot.
But
I mean, that was like a word that we would use amongst our boys. Look at this old faggot ass boy. So, but you can't even say that anymore.
Right.
And
unless you're in London.
In London, the fag is a cigarette.
Right.
And I know a lot. I'm telling you.
I see. I can't get nothing by you.
No. So, but as I've gotten older and more tolerant, it almost feels like I'm white in a sense.
You're white. Oh,
I'm
because
white.
you're more socially open.
Not socially open because I'm like, it's okay to be a gay. It's like how white people talk about black people. Like, I got some gay friends.
Right.
Right. I got a gay buddy. We're cool.
Exactly.
They're not bad at all.
That's
It's like how the racist whites talked about blacks as they began to change. I think my generation or me in particular is kind of changing.
This is different. Like, we've always been more accepting of gay men than men have.
Y'all befriended. They were friends.
Yeah.
If I were a black woman, I would be mad at gay dudes.
Why?
Because they have mimicked y'all so much.
They do women better than women do.
Which is
insane.
Which is, to me, an insult.
In a sense, it's an insult, but in a greater sense, it's a compliment because it's like saying.
But these guys are also become your competition.
But they're saying you've made femininity look so fabulous that I want to take it to the highest degree of what's possible. And so they're like, find the most feminine, most elaborate dressing, costumes, makeup, and that's what they dress in. But so you're saying that they become our competition, and in a sense that's true, but only in the sense that men are very visual and other men are aware of that. And so when you have these transgender men...
Like, I'm visual, but I don't ever want to see a penis.
But when you have these transgender men who are like, well, I know that men are visual, and
like this dude that Dwight Howard is supposed to be,
women, so they dress up like they know men want to see. They dress the way they know men like to see women dressed, right? But women have bought into this idea or concept that they don't have to dress to impress a man. They don't have to do anything to please a man. They'd rather be comfortable than cute. And then there are those men who say, oh, I like my woman natural. I don't like makeup. I don't like weave. And so
that's the guy. That's the guy. That guy looks like a guy to me.
He has a very masculine jawline.
I mean, he has hair. He has bundles.
Right.
But he's still, like, the makeup, the contouring doesn't fool me.
Right.
He's still a dude.
Yeah. But, he's just gay. So the reason I'm saying this,
there's no nuance to me when it's if you're either gay or you're not. Like dudes are not bisexual to me.
So when I was in high school, I know there were people that we thought were gay, or and nobody would admit to it.
Right.
You know, so you would see the kid that's acting kind of weird,
right?
And you're like, yeah, that kid's gay,
right?
And that kid would be like, no, I'm not gay. I like girls, and you're like, yeah, right, exactly. But now I work in high schools, and so I'm constantly, in contact with this generation, and as they're going through. And just yesterday, I saw this. I called, Roland is a little. I called the name Trevor, and it looked like a very pretty little girl turned around. I was like, I'm here, and I was like, okay.
Hi,
and
okay,
so a few minutes later, I was like, Trevor, come here, and I was like, you're a male, right? And he was like, yes. Thank you for asking. Because a lot of people don't ask. He goes, I don't mind people asking, but when they talk about me behind my back and make assumptions, it becomes an issue. But I mean, wow. Really pretty skin.
Now this is
looked
the crazy
very
part.
feminine. Had on a wig, but
really?
But the voice was still masculine. So
really?
That's what gave it away. And
so say Trevor.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wait, what?
All right. I see.
There's a few of them like that, and especially I find like with the girls, there's a lot of bisexuality.
Really?
And some of them are conscious of like I had one girl, she was like, yeah, I'm gay, but I'm only gonna be gay till I'm 18. Or like they're making these really strange random choices. Or another girl said she's gay, but she had a pregnancy scare. So
how do you do that? Why do you do that?
Right.
I talked to a fellow comedian of ours. God dang it, what's her name? Lesbian girl.
I don't want to just start calling out.
Yeah, just yell them out. Really smart comedian. She moved out of Atlanta. She lives in Buffalo now. What's her name?
Shantae?
That's Shantae Wayans. She's definitely a lesbian. And gorgeous.
Pat?
No, I don't know what Pat is. Is Pat out?
I don't know. I'm like, that's why I'm like, maybe I should just start calling out
maybe
names.
you should stop.
You didn't say it's
Nika Russell.
Oh, Nika, yeah.
And so Nika and I were having a conversation, and she was like,
smart.
she's never had a male ever.
Wow.
And I talked to another friend of mine, and they're like unicorns. Like lesbian girls that have never been with a man and never had penetration at all.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that is.
They're like.
So that's interesting too, because I was asking this girl that I talked to at work the other day, and she was telling me that she is a lesbian, but it was because she had bad experience at a young age.
She was maybe raped
and she was scarred, and so because of that, she became a lesbian.
But to me, when you're a lesbian as a reaction, then your choices are still skewed, and you still end up with bad people.
That happens.
Just because a person is a lesbian, don't mean they're fucking wonderful.
Right.
Well,
that happens, and what I said to her is, you've got a lot of healing to do before you solidify your choices. You've got to really you've got to go through the healing process.
The question is it a choice?
Because I'm like, well,
that's
I
the
said,
question.
Well, the thing about it to me, I said, because I asked her, she said, I'm a lesbian. I said, well, when did you become a lesbian? And she goes, oh, and I said, the fact that you can answer that tells me it was a choice. You weren't born gay. And so she looked at me, she goes, no, I was born gay. I was like, no. And so she was like, so then she tells me this experience. Right. And so I'm like, okay, so
you have to deal with a lot of heavy stuff with these kids.
Sometimes, yeah. And I think it's just they approach me because I'm approachable. Like I'm very open, so they'll come and talk to me about things that they don't want. But these kids go through so much stuff. I mean, some of them are dealing with possible prison time at 15 years old.
No.
Yes, it's crazy. They're talking about, the first time I was arrested, I was 12. And I'm just like, what world do you, what's going on? And that's really, to me, the saddest aspect of not having strong family units It's because there's no parents in the home.
The byproduct is what we're seeing with these children.
Right. Yeah. And I'm not even saying no fathers in the home. There are no parents in the home.
Right.
Because mother's working 1 or 2 jobs, and when she is home, she's tired.
She's tired. She's wild.
Right. And then there's no father, so these kids are raising themselves.
Wow.
And you really see that weight on them when they come.
Wow.
When they come to school.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Some of them have had
kids don't get to be kids.
No.
Yeah. I tell my kids all the time, I say, but you're only going to be a kid for a short time. Just embrace it. Because it's over when it's over. At 18 or whatever, 21, it's over. And you're going to be grown the rest of your life. So just rock your kid, man.
My daughter was like, I'm not trying to grow up.
Right.
She was so not trying to grow up. She almost like failed senior year. I was like, look, I understand.
I don't want to be in real life.
She was like, I don't want to be an adult. I don't want to stay a kid.
Good for her.
And I'm like, wow, that makes me feel good as a mother. I did something.
You've been killing it. You don't want to get out. You don't want to leave.
But I'm like, okay, but we're done though.
It's over.
Time's up.
I'm about to go get my adult on.
Yeah, exactly. So.
How many?
I have 2.
2. Boy, girl.
Okay.
So you're kind of good.
I'm good. Yeah. I got a real solid boy.
But you're married.
I am divorced.
You're divorced. So what's the dating world like for a comedian, a good-looking woman, 2 kids, empty nester almost?
Yeah.
And Atlanta, what is that?
Difficult.
Right, I'm sure.
It's very, in Atlanta especially, I think it's difficult.
Yeah. Every woman I know, every friend of mine that's a female says the same thing. It's like the hardest place in the world.
It's difficult. I think it's difficult as a female already. And then comedy adds a different level of difficulty to that because
you have male friends?
Not just because I have male friends, but also because when people see my stand-up, their perspective of me changes or whatever, you know what I mean? And so they just start treating me different.
Right.
It becomes really strange.
Weird. And quickly.
Yeah. I'm like, we weren't supposed to get to this point yet.
But what about the guys that would approach you after a show that have seen your act? Like, what are those guys like too starstruck or too enamored with the comedy?
Actually, they heard some joke that they just really bought into. Usually, and they're like,
"Hey, you talking about your pussy?"
Exactly.
I like the taste.
I got
my tongue like a cat.
I got that one move that works. I got that one trick for you. I'm like, I'll pass. And then one guy was like, "Can I buy you a drink?" I was like, "You are not going to Cosby me, sir. You are no, thank you." And then
did it look like a rapist?
It was dark.
Okay. Okay.
But people are very, they're either very, I don't know if it's starstruck, but they're either very distant, like they don't know how to approach you.
Afraid.
Or they're afraid to approach you, or they're very aggressively forward, like
no middle ground.
Very comfortable, immediately comfortable.
Oh, wow.
And even female like this one, women I think are even worse than men, and that's
girls hit on you.
Sometimes, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's funny is
you said, yeah, like it.
No,
so
but
high.
I know,
of
right?
Course,
Like,
everybody likes
who wouldn't? But no, but seriously, I think the funny thing about the hashtag #MeToo movement is that with women, we are very comfortable with other women saying and doing anything.
Really?
Us. Yeah, like all kinds of levels of inappropriate. Like I could go to a club and hit another
all through your life
ass, and no one's gonna question it.
It's not a big deal.
It's not an issue.
No.
I could grab a woman's breast, and it's like,
I've seen one walk up. Oh, girl, I see you.
Exactly.
I'm like, did you?
And nobody questions it. Nobody says anything. But if a man does it, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. You are horrible. You little dirty, creepy, nasty.
It's crazy for you to say that because I was sucking this girl's titty the other night in the club, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
Hashtag not me.
Hashtag not me. Boo.
Right, but so it's kind of a.
I'm talking 44 minutes.
Wow.
Are we serious? We on a date? You gotta feed me.
Okay, I'll treat and you pay.
Okay. I think I'm winning.
You're winning.
I'm sure.
You'll be out with me. So
Indeed.
that's the win. But yeah, so this woman actually came up to me the other day, like rubbed my body like that down the front, and I was like, did you just trump me?
Trumped you.
I think she just trumped me.
How far down did she go? Did she rub your face?
Not like
Where
she
did she
started
start?
like right below the breast, but then went down like to the thigh, and I was,
Really?
I was just like, wait, what happened here?
So she picked the thigh. So she went down the right side or the left side? Or did she touch
well, I had
your...
on a dress, so she like went down the middle, but
Like,
about thigh length.
Was she a lesbian? Was it just...
It's hard to tell.
Okay, wait. Why is it hard to tell?
Some people, she might be bi. I don't know. Like I didn't.
So how does
I didn't
she...
stop to
What
ask
do you
questions.
What do you
I was
say?
like, it's time to go.
What do you say? Okay, when she touches you, she's already violated your space. She touched you. You just stand there?
No, I backed up.
You took a step back.
Took a step back.
And just
I
to
was
make
like,
sure she had more room to rub down.
Right.
So as you're stepping back, she's coming forward still to continue to rub down.
And I was like, okay. And it was like, then I
A
was
stranger?
No, it wasn't a stranger.
Somebody you know.
Somebody I know, but somebody that,
Do they always touch you?
No, and that's.
So this is the first time that person ever touched you?
It touched me like that.
Period. No,
they greet, they hug me or
right.
like, so they'll if you touch me on them, but not. It was just a weirder kind of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So do guys do that?
No, not. So guys are more like I might touch them, and then they'll be like, so do I get to touch you back? But they'll usually ask, and I'm like, no, that's not how.
I think the thing about guys is we're kind of used to rejection.
Yeah.
So you know the stuff that's definitely going to get rejected. you know, better not do that.
That's funny. And see, I think that's the thing is a lot of women aren't. Like, even if a woman, if you're not interested in sleeping with a woman, right, or having sex with her or anything intimate, right, you still aren't going to stop her from touching you. You know what I mean? Like, if I was to grab your chest, you would just be like, she just grabbed my chest. There's not going to be any...
Right.
But
it's things that just aren't sexual for a guy.
Yeah.
Like the top of the line, any dick itch is going to be ground for like, okay, she's serious. But anything, I mean, you can have your way with all that shit.
Right.
I wouldn't even think twice about it, depending on who. Now, I have had a gay dude do some shit, touch me. Yes. So, tell you a quick story. So, Memorial Weekend, Miami, booked a gig. It's at the Miami Civic Center. So, Miami Memorial Weekend is a few things. It's like a Freaknik type atmosphere down on the beach.
Oh, wow.
And it's Fuck Fest 95 down there.
Wow.
Downtown, it's the Black Gay Pride Week sizzle, right?
Okay.
So we got a gig. We come off the highway, look up.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to get the visual. So you're saying on the beach,
it's heterosexual, wild.
Girls gone wild.
All that. Mopeds, motorcycles, bikinis, dudes, oil, all that.
And then up the way.
Downtown, it's sizzle. So
gay.
Sizzle is the Black Gay Pride Miami.
Wow.
Right. So there's Gay Pride Atlanta. There's Gay Pride DC. There's Black Gay Pride events all over the country. So that particular one happened more weekend, Miami.
So bisexual black men be having a field day.
Killing it.
Oh my God. They're just going back and forth. Huh?
They're killing it.
Body over here.
They make money too for whatever reason. But that's not part of the story. So we come over the highway. They have a billboard of us, me and the rest of the guys on the show. Probably that wall, probably 4 of those.
Wow.
It's huge.
Right.
In my mind, I'm like, yo, we got a billboard.
Right.
Further down the hill, come up on the side of the Hyatt is the Sizzle promo.
Oh wow!
It's a dude in his Speedo. Hey, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is Sizzle? So the Hyatt is booked, all gay and lesbians. They sold out. Mm-hmm. We stayed across the street at the Epic, beautiful hotel. It's so many Sizzle people. They in the Epic.
Wow.
Now, because of Monique, I have gay fans.
Okay.
You know, because the gays love Monique. They love black women celebrities. They love black female celebrities. So they like, I walk in the lobby and it's kind of, they're unsure if I'm there for sizzle or something else. So I'm at the Epic, so I'm not in the sizzle shit, but it's still the sizzle fallout.
Right, yeah. It's the overflow.
It's the sizzle overflow. And I saw walking in the lobby, oh my God. Rodney Perry, what you doing here?
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, shit. What am I doing here? So, so my brother becomes my beater.
Okay.
My brother is my role manager. He becomes my gay lover.
Wow.
Just to keep these niggas off.
You gotta have one.
You need one. And so like, we like a couple and this shit. So, you know, of course, I'm still me. I'm like, yo, he's like, hey, can I get a picture? So I'm sure, I know for a fact I'm on some gay dude Facebook page.
Right.
So you go take a picture, boom. I usually try, I've learned over the years, whether it's male or female, I keep my hands to myself in pictures. I used to be horrible at this. I used to be all in pictures, grabbing, touching. I used to be, always like, what the fuck was that? I was a split second. In my mind, it was a split second. I never gonna see that person again.
Exactly.
No big deal. But I would be grabbing asses. I would be doing some horrible shit in pictures.
Celebrity status.
Horrible. And so I'm in the picture with this one dude. This motherfucker takes during the picture and he does this shit to me.
Oh.
And I'm like, man, what the fuck was that? But I didn't fool that. I didn't fool in my mind. I was like, yo. And I'm like, dude, it's not that type of party. And he's like, okay. But that was like his move.
Wow.
And he took me like right in there.
That's so subtle, but so
it was
aggressive.
Like, it was aggressive and sexual.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, man, stop
like just probably
that.
hit that right nerve.
Nigga, stop. I gotta kill you.
I gotta kill you.
I gotta die. Sorry. So
I think that's like the gay version of getting trumped. Like he didn't
I
grab you by the pussy, but
he did not grab me by the
but
pussy.
he like grabbed you by the neck.
He ran his finger and did a little pressure on it too. I'm like, Now
that's like getting
I've only
poked.
had that's the poked like a Facebook hilarious. So that I had that moment, and then one other moment. I won't say this person's name. So, I've always been cool with comedians. I love comedians.
Right.
So one comedian came to LA. I was in LA at the time. You know, I would go pick him up, give him rides around. Good guy. You know, we had a cool relationship. And one day, man, we dap up. You know, manly dap. You know, hit me up. Hit him up. I dap him up, and in the dap, he does that.
Oh wow, he does the little finger.
He did the finger shit. The fucking super. And I look back, I look at this motherfucker like, did you just scratch my palm, you motherfucker? And his face went like, yo, don't blow me up. But
wow.
I'm gay. His face said it.
So I had an experience with a comedian too, and as a female in comedy, it's really challenging. Like when you're going on the road with other comics,
right?
Because a lot of times
they all are trying to fuck you,
right?
Just for the record.
Okay, so I didn't know that starting out. Like it took me a while to learn that, and so I went on the road a couple times.
Where are my clothes?
I went on the road a couple times with this comic, and the third time we were on the road, I looked.
We're in love. We love
No. Hold on. We stopped at a gas station. He goes inside.
Driving.
Yeah, we're driving. We're driving to the gig. He goes inside to pay for the gas, right? While he's in there, his phone beeps and a picture shows up. And the picture is somebody inserting something in the hole of a penis, like an erect penis, like some kind of. So I'm like thinking this is some kind of weird sexual perversion or something. Like who sends a guy dicks to his phone? So I'm thinking the guy.
You can go to my phone for 100 years. And no dicks in my
I'm thinking the guy must be gay. Like I'm like, oh, this comic's probably gay. Cool. I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Great.
Because he's got a dick in his phone. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Jesus.
Exactly. This is a relationship I could work with.
Yeah, we can work. We can go
so then he tries to kiss me, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Get out of here!
I was so confused. I was like, "What's going on here?"
So wait, this can't be it.
I didn't know what to.
Did you go? I saw the dick in your phone.
I
no need to front.
I wanted to, but I didn't want to like completely embarrass him. So I was just like, wait, what's going on?
So
and he was like, well, I thought
you leaving
knew.
stuff out. You saying he tried to kiss me. Other stuff had to happen.
Nothing else happened up until that point. Nothing.
So he didn't try to kiss you when he came back from the gas station. Like
no, when we got to
the same trip.
So the same trip. No, so yeah, okay. So he pumps the gas, gets in the car. I don't say nothing about the dick in the phone, but I'm thinking.
Yes, your dick in your phone.
But I'm thinking this guy. So, but I'm like, that's cool.
You feel super safe.
I'm not homophobic, right? So I'm good. No, when we get to the club.
All right. No hotels.
So we
because y'all driving back.
No, we were doing a hotel.
Okay.
And but we had separate rooms. It
right.
was like
absolutely.
every comic had their own room.
Got it.
And we go to the club, and when we go to the club, the show gets canceled for some reason, but he still pays everybody. And then afterwards, he was like, I'm gonna still pay you because this is what was agreed on. And he was very, very professional. But then he tried to kiss me. And then I was just
was it like a relationship kiss, or was like
he came at my mouth, and I went like, whoa, what are you doing?
Right.
Like that kind of thing. And
after he paid you?
Yeah.
So he paid you, like, is it the same moment, though? Like,
yes.
And since the gig canceled, could you give me some pussy?
I don't know I'm not sure what his mentality was. It just was weird, crazy. Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, no, that's...
No. Y'all still had to drive home together.
Yeah, that was an awkward drive.
So, I mean, does he try to make it better? Does he say, like, yo, I'm tripping, I was tripping, I don't know.
He just was like, oh, I thought you knew, or thought you would be cool with it, or yeah, something like that. And I was just like, I mean, I thought it was just professional, like I'm not trying to be involved with comics, you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Especially comics with dicks in their phone.
So
is there any scenario where that would have been an okay situation? Say you don't see the dicks. Or the dick. The penis. You don't see that. Is there any scenario where him making that move, like, would you have had to have some sort of conversation?
Absolutely. Like, I feel like...
Like, what makes you think... Well, to me, what makes him thought that was okay to go... Like, you wouldn't kiss somebody you were into right out of the blue like that, would you?
Right. Well, and that's the thing. Like, there was never any conversation about... Like, we didn't talk about...
Did y'all have the stare, like...
I don't think so. But my eyes do their own thing sometimes.
So you inadvertently gave signal.
I cannot attest for what my eyes say behind my back, but
let me find out.
However
that Garynell is cockeyed and got people thinking that they should go try to kill.
However common, I have apparently given people the wrong signal.
Before.
They looked at me and they were like, "Oh, she wants me." I'm like,
who knew?
Like, I smile. If I smile, people automatically think I want them. I think.
But you kind of always smile.
I know. I got the whole world thinking I want them. I'm like, well, I shouldn't have to stop smiling just because you miss.
So are you like asexual? Because girls like you.
Hilarious. Am I asexual?
Girls like you. Guys like gay guys like you.
Gay guys do like me. How did you know?
The guy with the dick in the phone.
That's funny. Am I asexual? That would mean I'm like without sex.
Is that what that means? I don't know what asexual means.
Asexual means I'm not having sex with anybody. No, I'm sapiosexual.
Sapiosexual. Okay, what is that?
I'm attracted to intellect.
Oh, so you must be crazy about me.
You're killing it right now. In the event that you're
with no erection.
In the event that your wife sees that, I'm not going to comment too heavily.
Yeah, don't.
But yeah, no. Like if you talk to me about like stock portfolios or financial stuff, like I'll get completely real estate, like anything. Like people are like, accountants are boring. I'm like, are they? They're so fascinating.
Wow.
You just know so much.
You don't know the numbers, son.
But guys, they never come at me. Like, they're always on. Like,
well, you just aren't in their space.
Well, no. The guys, when they talk to me, it's always about, like, they're trying to use sex. Oh, what do you like? Do you like? And I'm like, I like if you talk to me about something that, has something to do with anything other than sex. Yeah, some substance. Something that can stimulate my mind. If you can't stimulate my mind, you're not getting anywhere near my body. Like, that's just basic.
That's most women.
No.
You don't think? I think most women are. Well,
Yeah.
most women live in that space, absolutely.
You probably deal with a higher caliber of women.
Maybe.
I'm seeing.
I'm sure my women are horrible as well.
I've seen some girls who don't operate that way at all.
Yeah.
But they're younger. It takes, I guess, you're probably dealing with more mature women, and that at a certain level of maturity, it gets to be that.
Maybe true. It may be true. It may be a fact.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for joining me.
That was a great chat.
Yeah,
We was all over the place.
We covered a lot of stuff, but
We covered the gays. So let's do a recap. What did we say?
well, we started with erectile.
The fucks. We gave the fucks.
We gave the fucks.
You have no
everything we
fucks to
had.
give, and we covered erectile dysfunction
And the cure for it.
taboos of it.
The chingling.
The tingling,
Oh, tingling.
chingling.
Which one
You
is
get a
it?
tingling if you can use the chingling.
Have you ever used those condoms that are supposed to like make you last longer?
I don't want to be a part of that.
No, so they're the ones that like they have.
I have 6 children.
No.
I've never used a condom.
I used to buy them because I found out that on some men, like they make the whatever's in them, it keeps them.
But it
from
like
getting
numbs
wet.
you though. Or
Yes,
something,
it
too.
numbs you, so then it goes down. So I would just be like, "Oh, here, put this on."
Yeah, do this. Got something for you.
I'm really fuck with people.
That is
They
so
were like,
bad.
"Oh, you thought you were gonna."
I
get
got
some?"
anesthetics.
And then it's your fault that
Yeah.
we can't have sex, not mine. So I mean,
Very.
I used to-
I'm
I
mad. I'm
used
mad
to-
you even told me that.
I used to do that to my ex-husband when he tried to come back.
Put this on.
I got a condom for you because I ain't having any more kids with you.
Good for you.
But yeah, so yeah, thank you. It's been fun.
All right, don't try to kiss me.
I will try to restrain myself. It's gonna be
'Cause
so.
when you walked out, I
difficult.
did notice a dick in your phone. You probably had thousands. Like I got okay. Last thing. So, of course, my females comedians are my friends. They say, "Rodney, you'd be surprised how many dick pics I get from comedians." Can you speak to that?
Wow.
Like average, like on the average, like if you had a round number between 1 and 100.
So for me, I don't get I specifically.
If you've ever got it,
I've gotten a couple.
okay,
And
unsolicited.
not just unsolicited. I specifically asked this person not
Do
to
not
send me
wait
one.
a minute. What made you go? Hey, I feel like you're going to. You know what?
No.
If you feel like shit,
don't. Right? Yeah. I've actually said that to a few people, but this particular person was like, "Can I send you a pic?" And I was like, "As long as it's not a dick pic."
Right.
Like I was like, I work in a school. I have kids. I don't lock my phone. Please don't send a dick pic to my phone.
You even gave him a reason.
Yes, and this person had the audacity to not just send a dick pic, but to send a picture of his flaccid dick while I was at work.
At least let it be erect if you're gonna send it.
Right.
Let it be its best. It's absolute best.
Measure it up against something. I don't care.
Lay it next to a couch, like superimpose it like far away. Your dick will be right here, the couch will be over here, but it's the same length.
Something, make it creative. No, this looked like a baby elephant trunk with the ears. And it was just like kind of flapping, and I was like, wow. So we had a good laugh about that, me and the kids. No, I'm just kidding.
Not the kids. It's good that you're shaping young mind.
You know what I'm saying?
You and Travis.
Right.
Travis, let me show you something.
Exactly. He like, ugh.
Miss Garynell, At least it could have been hard.
Right. He was like, you don't want that, boo. He don't even. Gay men are quick to tell you what's not good. They're like, he ain't working with nothing. But yeah, so I've had a couple that have sent pictures.
So well, that's good because from what I understand, women get a lot.
So I
Comedians,
don't
female
get as
comedians.
many because I ask people not to. Like I will be like, as soon as somebody says pick, I'm like, please don't send me a
whatever you do.
Please don't send me.
So you hit it off in the past.
I try, and still I get a couple that slide through.
They slide through the
They will slide a few through. Yeah. And then there was actually a couple of situations where I would be either Skyping or FaceTiming people, and I thought it was
like romantically, like relationship.
Well, I thought it was going to be a regular conversation, and then it, next thing I know, and I was like, oh. Or actually, one situation, it wasn't even any of that. It was I like Skyped or tried to FaceTime this person, and they were already engaged in the act. Like, I think they had other people watching. I don't know how their system was set up, but it looked like they were performing for someone, not me, but when I called in, I could see it also. I was
comedian? Oh, God. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I do not want to know. Let's turn this thing off. I can't take it no more. Hey, how do I get out of here? This is loud, make way. Thinking out loud!
Thinking out loud. I think we did a lot of thinking out loud today.
We did. We did.
And we had a very stimulating conversation. So.
But Christy gets it.
Thank you.